Hello, once again. Welcome to the Powerhouse Woman Show. I'm your host, Monica Pierre. Our show is brought to you by Storymaker Academy. It's our 6-month program where we help you to develop, discover, and deliver your talk because the world needs your story and you're the best person in which to tell that story. You know, there's a story about being unforgiving for forgiveness, not giving it, not accepting it. We're going to talk today what it means to forgive a family member, to forgive a coworker, a business partner, a collaborator that has left you exhausted because she didn't do her end of the bargain. You're just exhausted by it. Childhood friends didn't support your dream. So there's a lot to unpack when it comes to forgiveness. And we're going to talk to someone who has literally written a journal and a book about forgiveness. We're joined by the one and only, I'm going to go ahead and get her here, Carla Brown Shelton. Her book is called Forgiveness is a Decision. Wow. Thank you so much for joining us today to talk about this all important topic.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. How did you decide that you were going to put together a 21-day devotional and a journal on this topic?
Well, I am a person that loves stories, and I have so many stories inside of me. I wanted to actually take those stories and put them in a format where people could actually relate to them. And I came up with this idea of forgiveness as a decision, a 21-day devotional, where I use my own personal struggles of unforgiveness to help people uh, springboard their own journeys of forgiveness. I've had, if forgiveness is, if pain is pain, no matter what. And if we have pain, we want to be able to navigate through that pain. And Christ has allowed me to get on the other side of it. So now I want to be able to help people through this book and help them to get on the other side of that.
What do we as human beings often get wrong about what forgiveness is, what it means, and who deserves our forgiveness?
You know, years ago when we were younger, we would often hear that nursery rhyme, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. That is absolutely not true because words are piercing, they hurt, and they sometimes go deep within us. And so we have to take that hurt and we have to do something with it, whether we lash out at other people or if we use that to propel us into a direction that may not be one that we want to go into. So, this is an opportunity for us to use pain to navigate a, a healing process. And I want to share this is that, you know, sometimes when we're talking about reframing forgiveness, a lot of times people feel that when we forgive, it may mean that we're weak or other person got away with something and that we're not strong. And that's totally not true. When we forgive, it brings freedom. And when we also forgive, it means that we are wise because the Bible says that when we stand praying, we need to forgive. So unforgiveness blocks our prayers from being heard. And it seems like, well, oh, it's nothing, but it is a big deal. It's a big deal to God.
Right. I've always had the question and wanted to know, are we forgiving everything or just the big offenses? I mean, if someone cuts into, in traffic and I might have a juicy word or two to hurl their way, that's not prayer like. Is that
Right.
something we should be asking for forgiveness or that's just everyday life?
I think the word says that offenses will come. He said that they will come, and it means that they're going to come rapidly, even while we're on at the drive-through or while we're getting a coffee or whatever it may be. But there are going to be many opportunities for offenses to come, but we have to forgive quickly. So if someone cuts across us, or as even as early as today, we need to be able to forgive. Just say a quick prayer, I forgive them, and just keep it moving.
And so the freedom comes as a result of that as well.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So it could be something that happened. And what these stories are meant to do is to bring the reader to a place where they can relate. Maybe it's not necessarily something that happened to them, but it brings them back their memory to something else. It may trigger something else. And we can use that. Hey, I remembered this happened to me. It's not her story, but it's mine, and pain is pain, and so we can use that as an opportunity to allow God to heal that brokenness.
And this is a small book. It's a journal and it's a devotional. But one of the things I think that you really do well in the book, Carla, is to talk about setting those boundaries.
Mhm.
And what does that mean as far as I forgive? Now, come on into the house, let me make you some potato salad. And, what does it mean? And how do you set those boundaries that protect you?
So when I think about forgiveness and boundaries, forgiveness does not necessarily mean reconnection. So whether it is our decision where we want to allow that person back into our lives, and I think of it as a gate. So we can let the good in or we can keep the bad out. And I also look at it in this regard. If allow someone to come into my home and they go into a room and they destroy that room, well, we don't allow that person access to another room. We keep that room closed off. And that's how it is in our hearts. They've damaged our hearts, but we don't allow them access into another area, another chamber of our hearts. The Bible is clear about it, says to guard our hearts, to guard it. So that means protection. That's a resource to say, okay, we can forgive, but I can keep you at arm's length and we can still have a relationship, but I'm not going to allow you into the same space that afforded you the opportunity to hurt me before.
What has been the response to your book from other people? Is it helping them? Is it maybe triggering them? Is it helping them understand there's a process to this freedom?
I think from the feedback that I have received has been very positive. A lot of people have told me that it has helped them to navigate some areas that I don't even remember this happening to me, but as a result of reading this particular story, it has allowed them to walk through something similar that has happened to them in in their personal lives. So the feedback has been amazing, and I'm hoping that it will help other people to reach other people with the story, and share it with them what has happened to them. When we have when we go visit a good restaurant, we can share like, oh my God, the food was delicious. But until we taste and see for ourselves
Right.
what that freedom and that forgiveness looks like, then we can't, we really can't speak on it. And I think of forgiveness as being like a heaviness. It's like a coat that we wear, and we don't really know that we're carrying it until once we release it. And I think about this as unforgiveness is like holding me captive in a prison, and I have the key to unlock the door, and that key is forgiveness.
Wow.
So we're bound by it, but we don't really use. We don't think about it forgiveness as being a key to unlocking the prison door, and it's setting us free.
Right. As you're saying, this is really a silly the memory, but remember the Andy Griffith show and Otis
Yes,
had the key? He could lock himself in and he could take himself out because he had the key.
exactly. 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 That's a good analogy. I love that. I love that.
Used to love that show. Where can
Yes.
people get Forgiveness as a Decision, your 21-day devotional and journal, and it's by Carla Brown Shelton? Where
It
can they
is
get it?
available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and Trilogy, trilogy.tv.
Wonderful.
So
And
those are
as an
some
author,
places.
do you love saying where all books are sold?
That's yeah, that's a good little catchphrase on the end of it. Yes, wherever books are sold, this is available.
Well, wonderful. It has been a pleasure to have you on the show, Carla. Thank you so much. We had a mutual a person that we knew who connected us. Also, we had last week, we had Pastor Beverly on. So it's been interesting because,
Yeah.
again, there are many layers to us. We're not just business people, we're not just leaders. We have what's important, our North Star, our faith. So thank you for talking about a topic that so many of us really either struggle with or realize the freedom came when they forgave.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hold on just a second. And my thanks to all of you for joining us today on the show, the Powerhouse Woman Show. And to remind you that coming up in January, we'll have our fourth class of the Storymaker Academy. So I'll be providing more details as well. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you next week on the Powerhouse Woman Show.